Well, we all have those friends, the perfect couple that we love to hang out with, the Ross and Rachel of our group that just seem destined to be together. But what happens when that couple splits up? Does it mean there's no hope for any of our relationships? And who do we stay friends with? Here to help us cope with the situation is relationship expert Janie Lacey. Good morning.
Good morning, Holly.
Okay, first of all, do you think people are getting way too invested in their friends' relationships these days?
Well, we have to keep in mind there's no such thing as a perfect couple, and sometimes we'll look at people and put them in a fantasy. We wish we had that, so I think we should kind of put that investment in our own relationships.
And sometimes it gets really dramatic when the perfect couple splits up and you're friends with both people. Whose side do you take?
Well, what I would recommend to that friend that has to make that decision is, how did you become friends with this couple? Is there one person that really you want to keep friendships with for the long term, and kind of decide there, because it can get a little sticky if you're trying to maintain both friendships with both people and they're not having such a great time and one may feel betrayed. It can just get into a whole gray area and you want to be careful.
So how do you communicate with maybe one of the parties that, hey, look, I still want to be friends with both of you. This time's really tough right now, but can we be friends moving forward?
Well, they can say exactly that. Well, how do you feel about this? And because a lot of times when people break up in marriages or in relationships, they do get couple friends or people that surround them that support that. And sometimes people try to shun away from that because they don't know how to handle it. And I think it's just better just to be direct. What would you need from us during this time? What do you need from me?
Sure. And you mentioned this fantasy, putting couples on a pedestal. People even do this with reality shows. I remember when Nick and Jessica had that show on MTV, and people were actually upset when they broke up, like, I didn't see it coming. Is that kind of dangerous to have that mentality?
Absolutely. We don't know the inner workings of when they're alone, what's their relationship dynamics. We just see part of them, so to speak. We just see the self that they show public, and that happens in any relationship. We don't know what really goes on behind closed doors, so to speak. Absolutely.
Sure. And what about the person in the relationship, if they get dumped, it wasn't a mutual breakup, and they kind of feel shunned by friends? How does that individual move forward? Because it's something that some people have to deal with.
Right, that does happen because people don't know how to handle that. The person that they feel like is going to be dumped, so to speak, if I'm still friends with them, am I betraying the person that dumped them? And they just kind of decide not to deal with it. But then that person feels isolated. So you want to support them. It doesn't necessarily mean that you agree with them or you want to jump in on whatever happened, but just kind of be a support system. Have coffee. You don't have to get into any details.
So communication, whether in a romantic relationship, platonic relationship, you got to be able to talk it out.
Absolutely. Let's put the cards on the table. Where do we want to go from here? It's better to be open and to always wonder, did I do the right thing?
Good stuff, Janie. Thank you so much for your insight. And for more information on Janie Lacey, head on over to our website, dailybuzz.now.com.